Hi, my name's Tommy World Power. I'm the founder and CEO of the Energy blockchain and the Gonna Make It NFT marketplace. And welcome to Pitch Your Project.
All
Oh,
right, it's great to have you here, Tommy. Well, let's just kick things off with, for those who haven't heard of the Energy blockchain, can you give us a really high-level overview? And then later we'll dig into all the details.
yeah, sure. Well, first of all, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. Quick background on me: I've been in crypto since 2013. I was watching it in 2012, and I saw the whole rise in Bitcoin when it went from $10 to $1,000 in 2013. I missed that whole rise, but I was like, man, I'm never taking my eyes off this ever again, and I never did. And here we are, 10 years out from that. So yeah, I've studied crypto a ton. I'm also an OG crypto YouTuber. I did YouTube videos way back in the day when Ethereum was $1 around those times.
Wow.
But yeah, I've really learned and I've seen so much of the crypto space. I've seen it grow. I've seen it come up, and I see some of these missing points that I'm actually surprised has gone over a lot of the other big founders in the space, or just even in space in general. And so what I've built with Energy is, in my opinion, a different take. It's a different flavor of blockchain, but I think it's a cornerstone of what blockchains should include in the future. And that's what I'll be teaching you guys about today and showing you how that applies as well to NFTs going forward.
Awesome. Can't wait to sink our teeth into some of those details. And also want to know that you are a true OG. 2013 is definitely near like some of the beginning people. But one thing I want to ask you about is Energy blockchain launched in like 2018, and you might have started it in 2017 even, if I'm not mistaken. But it's been a while now, and I want to ask you, like, what's your motivation to keep working on this and try to bring it to new heights?
Man, that's a funny story. I'm actually going to do a YouTube video on the whole process that I've been through, the journey I've been through in building a blockchain. I'll tell you guys what, it was the 4th of July, 2017, and I was on my phone on Instagram and just watching people's stories. And obviously there was all this Independence Day stuff, you know, fireworks and celebrating. And I got this message from God. It was a strong message, and it was like, you got to build a blockchain, and you're going to build a blockchain like no one else. That was the message I got. And I was like, holy shit, I got to make a blockchain. And so within a few days, I made a YouTube video actually sharing the idea with my community. I was more active YouTubing at the time. And people kind of jumped in and were like, oh, I could do this, I could do that, you know. And that's how Energy was born. And I did a lot of things in Energy differently, and I would say the correct way with high foresight. Let me give an example. Back in 2017, there were ICOs going on left and right,
Yeah.
and people were raising $20 million like it was nothing, you know? And it's kind of similar to the surge we had in NFTs in 2021, where people with no background, like they haven't been doing it before, and they just kind of came out of the blue and raising $20, $30 million. I didn't want to do that because I thought that could be a problem with the SEC and regulations in the future. Well, I was right. So that's why we didn't do Energy with an ICO. Instead, we did Energy. We airdropped, we just gave away millions of dollars of Energy, and we did a fair launch like Bitcoin started emitting coins. There was no allocations of accounts for nothing. It just started emitting coins. We did designate part of the Energy emission to a treasury. And this is smart. Actually, I didn't create this. Dash and other blockchains had this before, BitShares as well, a treasury system. And what that means is part of the coin emission goes to a treasury, and that can fund the blockchain. So that's how I funded Energy. I didn't raise money. We just paid people in Energy. And to date, we are still paying people in Energy. And that treasury system is actually a key part of keeping Energy alive and healthy in the depth of a bear market. So those are some of the early roots of Energy. Energy was originally forked of Dash, and I did that for the treasury. And you think it's so simple to fork a blockchain, you guys? Let me tell you. Simple changes will take you months. It took us, I think, 10 months. I was like, oh, we'll start with the Dash foundation with the treasury. We'll just make it bigger, which we did. It's like 4 times bigger than Dash. I was like, this can't take more than like a couple months. It took 10 months from there to launch. Okay, so just so you guys know, it's not just da da da. You know, it takes.
Yeah, that's what I would have
effort.
thought, to be honest.
Yeah, And I'll tell you what, man, if you don't have the commitment to doing it, holy shit, like, excuse my language, please seriously think sometimes life is easier as an investor, or,
Hmm.
just sometimes I envy what I could have done, which was just had a bunch of money. I was an early adopter to Ethereum, you guys. I didn't have much money. My parents thought I was
Right.
nuts, but I put $750 into Ethereum when it was 50 cents, I
Wow.
mean, that alone is well enough. And I kept buying it $1. The point I'm making is sometimes I'm like, I could have just lived that life and been doing, but I did Energy. And today I think today, I'm like, if I didn't make Energy, I'd have to make it now, because Energy solves one key thing that has gone pretty much above every other blockchain's head, which is nuts to me. And I'm so shocked that I'm the only one who's built a blockchain that solved it, but I'm so happy I did. I'm here to tell you guys about it because this is the future of blockchain. I feel very strongly about that.
Right.
So,
That makes sense. Yeah, I can definitely see your enthusiasm, and like thinking from first principles that kind of motivates you to work on this. But I want to ask you though, so Energy has seen some highs and lows since inception, like most other projects out there. Right now, it's bear market, right? So it's at one of the low points, not surprising for most projects out there. But what is your plan to grow it to where you think it belongs? Maybe let's say like top 100. If you think it's like the right approach, right? So I assume you have high hopes for it. What's your
yeah,
plan to grow it to that place?
great question. Well, let's just rewind to answer that. So at the beginning when I launched Energy, my focus was marketing. I was like, I'm going to build a big marketing machine. That was actually my intention. As I went along the way, first of all, Energy needed to be EVM compatible. As I mentioned, I was an early investor in Ethereum. I was in Ethereum when there was like 8,000 people in the subreddit.
Hmm.
Like few people knew about Ethereum when I was in there, um, and so I knew Energy needed to be EVM compatible. I couldn't launch it like that, being I needed a fork of Dash for the treasury. So we got there. It took 3 years for that to happen, from 2017 to 2020, when we called our Gen 3 version. Uh, and then I was kind of just distracted by product development. To be honest with you guys, being a CEO, like I love making YouTube videos, and if I had kept making YouTube videos, you guys who are all watching this probably would know me right now. But I've been pretty kind of behind the scenes. So for those of you guys who are newer here in the past years, here I am. But people like my content, and see that I know a lot about blockchain. I know a lot of like deep ins. I don't know everything, but surface level I know a ton, and I know some deep things, how things work and stuff that seems like a lot of people don't. But we all learn together. But so what happened was I did a lot of product dev, and I lost sight of marketing, and I learned a really powerful lesson. I'll tell you guys, if you guys are doing any business, let this be just a reminder for you that the lifeblood of business is marketing and sales. It's the core of any business. And I
Right.
learned there's a dangerous fallacy out there, you guys, that if you build it, they will come. Be
We've
very
heard that a
careful about
lot.
that.
We've heard a
Yeah, be
lot.
very careful about that, because that can be really dangerous if and sometimes just timing, you guys. I give an example. Like right now, people don't really care about metaverses, and before this time, people didn't. But there was like a surge. It was like a meta and metaverses, and everyone cared for like a period of time. And I think crypto kind of goes through these cycles of metas, right? And there's a meta that's kind of gone forgotten for a little while. That is decentralized governance. They did have a little bit of a surge in 2017 because Tezos actually raised $150 million on the
Hmm.
premise of decentralized governance. But I think people were kind of excited about it, and then people just like it's off people's radar, and they don't even know what's possible with decentralized governance and how important it is. But that really leads into what Energy has done differently than everybody else, and what I'm really proud of as well too.
Right. So to kind of sum it up, you want to focus on marketing more, start making videos more, let the people know your story, know Energy story, and also lean into the current metas. Is that right
Yeah,
for your plan to help Energy grow?
you've made a huge. Thanks for reminding me. Another major thing that I'll tell you guys what I'm really leery of scams in crypto. Unfortunately, I lost too many millions to
Right.
scams, and it made me really leery of a lot of projects and kind of newer projects. But in hindsight, I realized, well, I wanted Energy to be a product I'm proud of too. there's a lot of people who talk the talk out there, and I'm the opposite. I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. Let me just do it, and then once I've done it, I can show you what I have. And so that's the approach I've taken toward doing things, you guys. So I can tell you, energy right now is something like you may not have seen before in blockchain, or even I've noticed a lot of people don't even think what we've done is possible, you know. But I built it; it's possible, and not only is it live, it's tested for 3 years. We have had virtually no theft on our blockchain for 3 years. I got to say, like, that's a huge one. Let me say it. We have had virtually no theft on our blockchain in 3 years. So what am I doing differently? Is this the way of the future? Is this what the future looks like? I think so. I think the future looks like blockchains that you can use and not have to worry about looking over your back every 5 seconds, social engineering scam here, contract scam there, you know, Discord hack here. The list is endless, you know. It's so many avenues you can get hit. It's just nuts, and it's worse than ever. That's the problem we solve. So sorry. Just I'll add partnerships. You guys, if you guys are developers or you have a product and you're deployed on an EVM blockchain like Ethereum or Polygon or any of those, you're highly compatible with Energy, and you can launch those on Energy, and you can have the security and peace of mind that you don't have to worry about a contract hack. You don't have to worry about your users having funds stolen from them, your users not getting paid royalties. We've solved all those issues, and I'll tell you how we've done it soon enough. But that I want to invite, you know, project builders to come on Energy, use the EVM infrastructure, low fees, fast transactions with security, you know. So
that makes a lot of sense, and that actually leads us perfectly to my next question. I wanted to ask you what makes Energy unique, but I guess we can start with the big security features, right? Because that's something you stress as one of the key selling points, the most unique thing about Energy. Can you tell us about the security feature? Like, what lets y'all prevent hacks and theft?
For sure. Yeah. And I can explain this, but actually let me take a step back on two different things. First of all, you guys, what are the main things we want in blockchain? We want a blockchain that has low fees, right? That's a pain point for everyone using Ethereum. You don't want to pay $50 for a transaction. That's a pain point. A lot of blockchains have solved that. Great. Another one is fast transaction speeds. Our blockchain is quite fast right now, and we're doing an upgrade right now where it's just as fast as Ethereum. So that's not an issue. And we actually have layer 1 and layer 2 built into our blockchain. So we're a lot better positioned to solve the issue of other blockchains which have a layer 1, then they have to bring on an external layer 2. We have both layers already built in. So that's all fine and dandy. But the one unresolved issue that's a huge pain point in the space, and I'm really shocked has got this far, is the matter of security. And let me tell you guys why I solved this, because I think that's actually the most important thing. I saw our users actually having funds stolen from them in 2018. We launched in 2018. And within the first couple months, you're just getting scammed here. It's a fake Discord admin who was mimicking an admin. You guys all heard about that. Other scams, actually the amount of scams that happen now are way more than happened then. You know, right. A recent one, I hate to say, I got hit by address poisoning. If you guys don't know what that is, you're sending funds on Ethereum, you have to pay close attention to that address. You see MetaMask in a lot of wallets, they give you like the first 4 characters and the last 4 characters. No, now you need to pay attention to those middle characters, because scammers are trying to trick you by they can mimic transactions from your wallet to make it look like you're sending funds to that address. Anyway, I actually have a video on it. Check out my YouTube channel, Tommy World Power. If you link me somewhere, that would be awesome. Sure. Thank you. Check that video out, you guys. But I guess the whole point I'm trying to make is scams and crime. I think actually the majority of crypto users have been scammed. My estimate is 90% of users have been scammed in some way. So you guys know the pain, or most certainly you know a friend or family who's been through the pain of having crypto stolen. Feel that pain. How do you feel when that happens? It feels terrible, right? Don't you feel sometimes a sense of injustice? Like, how did this person get away with this? Who are they? Where are they?
Exactly. It's happened to me before too.
It's the most worst pain in the space that we have all felt, and no one has brought a solution to until I brought it forward. And I'm proud to say I'm the first one in the space who's done it. And not only am I the first, I'm 4 years ahead of everybody else, at least. You know?
Right. I'm excited. Lay it all down for us. How do you do it? What is the solution?
Okay. Well, so again, I solved this problem coming from the heart and feeling the pain of myself and others, that I'm like, there must be a solution. So I want you guys to understand, if you want to solve the problem, you have to come from that mentality, because I find people who don't think it's possible. They're like, oh, this and that. Okay. Let me tell you how it works. in cybersecurity, there's a term called defense in depth. It means having layers of security, and you need
Mm-hmm.
layers of security to solve this problem. Layer one is you need to be alerted if your funds move. Actually, most people notice that their funds are stolen pretty fast. But just in case you're AFK, you're on vacation, you're going to get an email when your funds move. You have to sign up for these alerts, but you should do it. It's kind of like your bank notifications. Did you spend $5,000 on flights? That happened to me. I didn't. Called the bank. They reversed it, right?
Exactly.
I didn't have to pay for $5,000 of flights I didn't buy. That's security that we have in our traditional system. Blockchain needs this sort of alert system. That's level one. The second level, and by the way, Ethereum has that too, and other blockchains have that too, and we have that too. So everyone can have that. But that's layer one, but you need the other layers. Layer two is decentralized governance, and this is where Energy has set itself apart. There are some other blockchains that have some level of governance, like mainly they can upgrade, maybe their blockchain protocol in some way, or smaller smart contract upgrades. But we have built the most comprehensive decentralized governance, and that ties to affecting users in terms of security. No one's done this as far as I know besides us. So the way this works is if someone has funds stolen on our blockchain, we can have a quorum. It's currently set to 10%, but that number can shift up or down. I don't care too much about fine-tuning that number. I care about how it works. And it works right now, by the way. So with a 10% quorum, actually, let me take a step back. Let's just say we have Alex here. Alex, unfortunately, was a victim to a scam. They tricked him somehow, and he had a bunch of his Energy assets stolen. We can only do this on the Energy blockchain. Can't do this on another blockchain. So Alex will come report it to us. He could just come in the Discord and say, hey, I've been hacked, help me, or send us an email or whatever. So now he's on our radar. We could do a temporary vote. The way a temporary vote works is if there's twice as many yes votes than no votes, whatever the attacker, the perpetrator's address is, it can be immediately and temporarily frozen. So Alex can come and report it to us, and we can immediately and temporarily freeze that address. Now, that address will not stay frozen for more than 14 days unless the amount of votes on that vote becomes more than 10% of the masternode network. The masternode network is our layer two. We have a layer one and layer two, remember? Layer two is where we do all the governance. If 10% of that network votes that, yes, we want to permanently freeze this address until we figure out what's going on, that address can be permanently frozen. Okay? So now that attacker cannot move the funds. The scammer, the hacker, he cannot move that energy. So what we do next is we have the EBI, stands for the Energy Bureau of Investigations. These are some good cybersecurity people we've been working with for a while. They do cybersecurity for big companies and governments. Okay? So then they go and investigate what happened, and they take like a full comprehensive report, get all the details, figure out exactly what happened, and then they're able to determine, was this a hack or was it not? Because we've had a number of people who try to come pretend like they've had funds stolen. They're just trying to extract money, So we know how to recognize that too. But if it is an actual victim, then we do our investigation and we give a recommendation to the masternode network, say, hey, this is a crime that actually has occurred. We need to return the funds back to the user. The masternode network can vote to drain that attacker's funds back to a governance contract, a drain contract, and then we can send it back to the user. I've given you guys a lot of details here, but I want you to understand that this system is an advanced system. It's not a basic system, but this is the sort of stuff you have to bring. Let me tell you guys something really cool. When you stop scammers and hackers from stealing from your network, then they stop doing it. They stop picking on you. I actually worked in home security. It was one of my first, jobs. I did it for several years. Did you know that if you have a security sign in front of your house, you are far less likely to get broken into than someone who doesn't? Do you know why that is?
Psychological.
Yes, because if an attacker notices that they're unlikely to get away with a crime, they're not going to pick on you. They're going to go after someone they can pick on. That's how it works. So having this deterrent system actually stops people. Yeah. There is one more. One more layer of security, but if you have something, let me pause there to let you. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, let's finish your third layer of security.
Okay. So, and by the way, I'll tell you guys what governance. Let me add on that. Governance is like laws. So we're introducing laws into blockchains. Let me tell you some visions of the future. Future blockchains of the world are going to have their own governance system with different laws that govern them, just like different countries, right? Your freedoms in the US may vary from your freedoms in some other country, maybe in the Middle East or something, Like there's a varying, there's different laws for different places, you guys know, I don't need to give more examples. So, So just understand that we are kind of the first ones to do that, but there will be more blockchains in the future that are doing governance, and we need it because we got to protect people.
For
And there
sure.
might vary slightly in what they do, but the whole point of it is a user using a blockchain should use it because they like the values of that system. And if they don't like it, they can pick another blockchain to use that has better values. That's
Makes
basically
sense.
the future. Okay, the third layer to all this, if you have layer one and two, great. There's a vulnerability there. The vulnerability is that a bad actor, hacker, scammer, when they steal funds, a lot of times they move funds out of reach within minutes. As in, they will immediately send those funds to an exchange or to a bridge to get it out of reach. And this is a core piece of security. If a scammer steals, I'll give an example actually. Last month, $20 million of USDT was stolen via an address poisoning attack, the same thing I was affected by. And
Yeah.
this is a new hack, by the way, or scam that's occurring this year, you guys. So learn up on it and don't let it happen to you. Anyway, it was a Binance wallet. I don't know if it was CZ or it's definitely one of the higher ups who has authority to move around $20 million. Got hit by the address poisoning. They are lucky that they are big, that they could call USDT and say, hey, those funds were stolen. Please freeze those for me. Otherwise, the hacker's going to move it. They got it frozen within an hour and they got it back. But any other normal user like you or me, I had 30 grand stolen. I contacted USDC. Do you know what they said?
File report, blah blah blah. Takes too long.
Exactly. They said, file a police report. We cannot do anything without a court order. 6 hours later, the scammer moved the funds and it's gone. Once they turn it into Ethereum, you guys, it's over because
Yeah.
there's no governance on Ethereum. On USDC, there is governance. So they could freeze it if they catch it. But once it's in Ethereum, there's no governance. So forget about it. It's gone. You know? So the third layer of security that you must have is a time delay. So if you're on vacation, if you're going out Friday night, we want to give people at least a couple days that by Monday, hopefully you have checked your email and noticed that your funds moved without your authorization. So
Yeah.
there's where we introduced a 3-day delay essentially. So if you're, it's similar to the traditional financial system. This is a settlement sort of design. This is
Exactly.
advanced. This is the sort of financial plumbing that the space needs in order to stop crime. Let me say something too. One way you can look at it as Energy is look at it like a test bed for Ethereum. It's a safe place. You can always go to Ethereum. I have a lot of love for Ethereum. You can always go there. That is always there. The wild, wild west, I call it. Bitcoin, Ethereum, bless them. They're the foundations that we needed, but they're the wild, wild west. You go there, you have no protection.
Yeah.
Then you can have satellite projects like Energy that you can build on and not worry about a hack that's going to wipe your project out with one little tiny bug that you forgot or missed or something, And that's what happens.
Yeah.
So.
I love that system, the 3-layer design. I think it's great. One question that does pop to my mind is like that initial layer where you get people to vote to pause or to freeze. And also layer 2, the just investigation, all that stuff. What happens if there's like too many requests? I know you said that there's not even that many attackers trying to do things because they know they can't get away with it. But if there's like a lot, let's say Energy just becomes a top 20 project, immense amount of activity, and of course, immense amount of hacks and things like that because of it, how do you, I guess, do that quicker? Or is it just like something you worry about later as you grow and get to that point?
That's a great question. And to that, I would ask you, how long does a traditional court system take? Like forever, right?
Yeah.
Court stuff takes forever. I don't want a court system that's that inefficient, to be honest with you, but that's the direction things are going to go. You're going to have a court arbitration system within there. So you need to have that. That's where things ultimately go. You have to have courts. Do we need courts right now?
How do you incentivize the people to like be on top of checking the like freeze requests?
How do you yeah, I mean that's the beauty of our treasury. With our treasury we can support the staff we need to maintain this. I mean that's what we're doing right now. Our security staff are on payroll from our treasury. So as long as people are willing to work for Energy, that those systems can be built, and we already have that. We've had that for years. So to your point, Kevin, this is actually a great question. This system right now is in its infancy. This is not the end all be all. But what we've done is we've proven that we can succeed at stomping out the worst problem in blockchain, which is crime. People just
Got it.
they want to bring their friends, they want to bring their families, they want a safe place to do it. They want to be able to bring their mom and say, hey, mom, you got to get in this crypto thing because it's the fastest growing asset class in the world. And she's going to be like, no, I heard that it's full of scams and stuff. And she's right, you know? So what are you going to do? You're going to be like, and she's a newbie. You can like imagine they're sending her into the like the woods, She's like, she's
Yeah,
like a newbie's going
exactly.
to get eaten alive by these scammers. No, there was an airdrop. I saw it on Twitter. The graphic looked really nice. Like that's what we have going on right now. Like
Right,
some of these
exactly.
marketing for these scam airdrops are freaky. They're it's well done, but that's it. They're like professional scammers. So what I would say is this is a place you can bring your mom, bring your sister, bring your brother, bring your friend, and you can say, hey, this is a blockchain where you can actually just set up your wallet alerts. And if you ever notice funds move without your permission, just let me know, let them know, and they can come in and they can help you. And
Yeah,
that's what this is. You need to do this to go mainstream.
that makes sense. You mentioned earlier you put out an invitation to builders to bring their projects, EVM compatible projects, onto Energy. But I want to talk about the state of the Energy ecosystem right now. Like, I know you guys built some great like core products like Energy Swap, etc. by yourselves. But like, what other notable projects are currently in the ecosystem or are building in the ecosystem?
Man, good questions. So another really important lesson I want to share that I will share with you all, something we all should remember, is you only have so many hours in the day. You only have so much energy. You can only work a maximum of 24 hours a day. That's assuming you don't sleep, which you should probably sleep because you'll perform better.
Right.
Um, um, so what I'm trying to say is you can only focus on so many things. At the beginning, to be honest, we built our blockchain, we built the DEX, we built the bridge, we built a lot of stuff. I mean, that's cool. It's a testament that we could build. It's great. But in hindsight, I realized, no, I'm going to focus on the energy blockchain, and I'm going to focus on our going to make it NFT marketplace. These are the two main things I'm focusing on. And then we have our own NFT collection called Dragon Degens. I'm going to see where that plugs in. It's not, but my focus right now is really energy. I'm going to make it, energy is the infrastructure. Imagine you have a city, like you're looking at a city from a bird's eye view. Energy is that awesome infrastructure. We got that built. It's working. It's great. Great. Going to make it is like the buildings that come in. We have an NFT marketplace that does two key things that are lacking on other blockchains. First of all is user security. Of course, like we've been discussing, there's so many ways to get scammed. But the other key one is royalty protection. Those of you guys who are in the NFT space or are looking at it, the NFT space has been just hammered the past year because they rely on royalties to grow. And what
Right.
happened is we've been seeing users getting scammed forever, but I haven't seen businesses scammed on this scale. And let me explain what I mean. One marketplace did it first, that they stopped paying royalties. They basically started screwing over the projects. And then every other major marketplace pretty much on Ethereum followed suit. So no project is really getting paid royalties right now. And these projects rely on those royalties to survive. So
Right.
right now projects are dying because they were counting on royalty revenue that is not being paid to them. So I tell you, if you guys are an NFT project or you know of them, soon gonna make it is going into MVP status pretty soon, as in, minimal viable product. It'll be a working thing. It's coming out. It's like we've been building this 2 years. So, get in touch with me. We're gonna have a bridge where you guys can bridge your NFTs over. You don't have to bridge the whole collection. You'll be able to bridge individual NFTs, and then you can have royalties being paid, to your projects, and you can survive. And we have a really good referral program too. So the earlier you are to it, actually, the better, because then you can share that referral code with other projects, and you can build actually pretty strong. We're doing a revenue sharing. It's a revenue sharing marketplace. It's pretty powerful. So we're going to share a lot of the revenue from the marketplace back to the projects who help build us. So these are the two things I'm focused on: energy, the blockchain. If you guys want to build on energy, come through. I'll help you guys get connected. Whatever you need. We're kind of tight on funds in the spare market, so grants are a little tight, but any dev resources are pointing to the right stuff we could do. And if you're an NFT project, let's get in touch and start getting those bridged over to Energy and start collecting royalties again.
Sounds good. Yeah, I definitely think that it was messed up that they removed royalty. But you might have touched on this already in your previous answers, but I just want to take a step back and like you said, you have a lot of great infrastructure, you have core products, exciting stuff like your NFT marketplace coming. But at least right now during the bear market, there's not a lot of activity, liquidity, or like just general action going on in your ecosystem. So can you share some thoughts on your plans to increase just everything? Like how?
Absolutely. Yeah, and that ties to what I'll say again, you guys, again, the fallacy that you build it and they will come. And I believe that. And it was kind of a rude awakening for me. I thought if you build something, just the best blockchain infrastructure everybody needs, that it's just going to automatically happen. And let me tell you that that doesn't. And so that's a lesson for me. It's like, okay, I built this. I know the world needs this. It's beyond just crypto. It's like, um, the way I got into crypto, my alias is Tommy World Power, and my alias comes from wanting to be one of the most powerful people in the world. Now, let me caveat that it's not out of like, oh, I want to be powerful. It's because I want to change the world. Like, like we have an opportunity here in the most miraculous day and age. I mean, look at us, you guys. This is incredible how fast technology is taking off. None of us had iPhones 15 years ago. Look what we can do today. It's a miraculous day and age to live in. We're in such an abundant day and age, and we really need to use that to make this world good and treat each other with respect, treat each other well. There's so many things in our system that are just old systems, and it's hard to break them, but we have to, and we want to evolve as humanity. And this is where my name comes from. And so that led me to crypto, by the way. That's how I found crypto, because I found blockchain in 2012, and there was an article that said Bitcoin went up 5,000% in a year. And I was like, that's too good to be true. And then it came on my radar like 2 or 3 more times. And then I was like, okay, let me see what's going on. And that's how I got into blockchain. But bringing that back home to energy, it's, I thought you build it and they'll come, and didn't happen. And now it's like, okay, I learned. It's like you have to do marketing. You have to build partnerships. I get it now. And
Okay.
that's my mistake. I'll own that, but hey, it's a learning lesson, and so that's what I'll be doing for the foreseeable future is exactly what I'm doing here, being
Sounds
out there,
good.
telling you guys about it. So yeah,
Exactly. We'll be on the lookout for a lot more exposure for the energy blockchain. The last kind of area I want to touch on today is the token. You have an NRG token, and feel free to say as much or as little about this as you'd like. But do you have stuff to share about like maybe getting it listed on more places, adding more
for sure,
utility or value for it? Like, what's the future for NRG?
for sure. And again, I guess in my head, it comes down to marketing. Like I was actually way too much in product development in 2021. It's like the lessons. It's the same way that Bitcoin, like when I saw Bitcoin go from $10 to $1,000, I was like, I'm never taking my eyes off this again. And now I'm like, I'm never taking my eyes off marketing and growth again, because you just can't. It's the core. Like, I don't care if you're building the best product in the background, but if it's like hidden in a closet, like no one gives a shit. Excuse my language.
Right.
But like, you got to be out there and you have to be telling the world about it. So actually, yeah, exchanges, like I didn't take it that seriously. Like exchange listings, now I do. We have exchange listings ready to go, that when the bull market comes back, you're going to see energy pop up on a lot of top 20 exchanges.
Amazing.
I already have those lined up. Also, yeah, you'll be just seeing a lot of me in the space. I'll be out there educating people, telling people. And again, the key is, you guys, we just got to come from the right place, and the right place is looking after each other. Like no one is happy about XYZ scammer in a country you don't even know. They're in every country, guys. Could be anywhere, and it's just the worst feeling. So let's protect each other. And I welcome again. This is where the space needs to go. So although I am the first to bring this like solution forward, I welcome others to do the same, because we need to have decentralized governance. We need to have security, and actually those blockchains we can link together and form like our own kind of union or whatever of blockchains that protect the users. That's what we need to do. That's how
That
the
makes
crypto
sense.
space evolves. So I'll be doing a lot of, yeah, again, you guys have a project you want to bring on energy, get in touch with me, get in touch with our team. I'll probably connect you connect with me, and I'll connect you with our head of partnerships, and we'll get that formulated. And yeah, let's just make this our part of the space where we can feel good about, using crypto and not have to worry about constantly being robbed.
All right, thank you, Tommy. This was a great like look into your vision and mission for the project. So thank you for sharing all of that. Um, I will definitely leave all the links to follow you and your project in the description below. And thanks for joining us today at Pitch Your Project.
Yeah, pleasure being here. And I got to just give props to Kevin. You guys already know this, but this guy's really one of the smartest people I know in crypto. That's really the truth. I love watching your videos, Kevin, because I always learn a lot. So mad props. Thanks for having me. I'll catch you guys soon.